Hello, my name is Marty Gould. My company is Beacon Aviation Incorporated, and we incorporated back in 1993. And I'm here to give you a verbal show and tell on some of the things that we can do with our aerial imagery. And as you may recognize, this is Google Earth, and we are located and zooming in on Mineola, Texas. As we get in a bit tighter, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen this is Beacon Aviation. We're just so pleased that you're looking at our imagery native on Google Earth. This past summer we were approved as a content provider for Google Earth, so we're very excited about that. You can see now that as I zoom in, the resolution boost is 9x. Our imagery is on the left, and what's on the right was native to Google Earth. Our imagery now, the same Mineola, we pulled into an application called Global Mapper, and I'm just going to show you some of the things that you can do with our ortho imagery. And first off, we'll just locate ourselves in this pond area, and you can see here that we're drawing a line from left to right, and it gives us distance on the bottom left. On the bottom right, anywhere we move our cursor, we get state plane coordinate systems in feet and also latitude and longitude. Now then, I just brought in a digital elevation model, and with our control center we'll control which layers are on top or behind, and we just move the elevation model to the back. Now then, you'll notice a vertical scale bar on the left. So now then, when we move our cursor around, we'll also get the Z value, and so we can see the height of the terrain wherever we move our cursor. And now that I'm grabbing a button on the top here, that'll let us do a line of sight profile. So between point A and point B, that is the lay of the land. Okay, now then, for the sake of an example, I'm going to create a polygon. We'll identify an area around this pond, and once again, on the bottom left, we're getting distance and enclosed acreage. And now that we've saved this polygon, we can identify it, and we can calculate a cut and fill. And so if we want to bring this pond up to a certain level, and I picked, I think, 395 feet, with the click of a button, we can see how much dirt will have to be cut and how much will have to be filled. There's our results. Not bad. Okay, let's take a look at this same area, this pond area in Mineola, and let's simulate a flood. Okay, we can do so just by turning our imagery off, turn our ortho off, and we're looking at the elevation model. I'll grab the cursor. As I move it around, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner the elevation. We're right at 380 feet or so. So let's go to our vertical options. Let's bring that water level up to 382. And you'll be able to see the water creep in or creep up from the south. Let's go ahead and bring it up to 390. Alright, and then finally, let's go ahead and bring it up to 400 feet. We are simulating a flood here, and we're at 400 feet. Now then, let's take a look at this on our aerial. We'll simply go to the options in the control center for the aerial and move it toward the transparency. And now then, you can see where the water would be should it reach a level at 400 on our aerial. And let's go ahead and simulate a pipeline, throw it in, and should something catastrophic occur, you could certainly identify your low-lying areas. We're going to look at the same section of the Earth in 3D. Once again, we have an elevation model, we have our ortho, our imagery, and we just draped our imagery over the elevation model. And now that we can look at it in 3D. And obviously we have the ability to rotate it, and zoom in, zoom out. Very powerful tool. We can exaggerate the relief if we want to, so that we can clearly see the relief of the land. It's always fun working in 3D. Now we're going to move into another area that we've mapped for major oil company XTO. It covered 5 counties, and I'll zoom into it. And you can see the area there is covering 2,554 square miles. The areas in white boxes are some coal mines, open pit coal mines that we map on a monthly basis. I'll turn them off just to declutter a little bit. You can see vector data all over the top of the imagery, which is well site information, and we'll locate a particular well, zoom in on it, and you can see we've got a red bullseye. And so we just did a search and located a particular well with a click of a button. Now you can see our ortho imagery. You can see God's green earth, all the well sites, and vector data on top of it, which is specific to this particular client. And now then, for additional orientation, we can just do a file, basically a file open. It's actually fetching from the internet street atlas information. And so we'll add that as a layer. And with it, we'll be able to see what roads are within this location. Now back to our control center, we've got the ability to control what's on top, what's not, and intensity. Here we'll change the transparency so that we can still identify our roads and also see the imagery at the same time, actually along with well site information. I appreciate your time. I hope this helps. Feel free to call us. My name once again is Marty. My number is 903-768-2001.